All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This is Mike again, and I'm doing another request for Kimmy. In fact, I think there's like 7. She's maybe up to 10. She might have got 10 back on the books. Regardless, thanks, Kimmy, for all you do. All right, y'all. So she wants to hear Dire Straits' Telegraph Road full video. So I haven't heard the song. Obviously, I hadn't seen the video. And she had asked me earlier, if I had heard any Dire Straits, and I had heard Money for Nothing. Is that it? Money for Nothing and New Chicks for Free, and Brothers in Arms. That may be the only 2. The first one might not even be Dire Straits. But anyway, regardless, let's, without further delay, let's just get into this, okay? Here we go. Yeah, I don't know why this video is not moving. Maybe it's a picture?
Came a man on a track, walking 30 miles with a sack on his back. And he put down his load where he thought it was the best, made a home in the wilderness. Built a cabin and a winter store, and he plowed up the ground by the cold lake shore. The other travelers came walking down the track, and they never went further, no, they never went back. Then came the churches, then came the schools, then came the liars, then came the roads, then came the trains and the trucks with their load, and the dirty old track. It was the Telegraph Road. Time traffic, 3 lanes moving slow.
Yeah, so this is totally bitching, Kimmy. This is a great request. Never heard this, but and I'd love to have. I mean, just looking at this picture here, I'd love to have my old truck on that road listening to this song. So you probably saw me moving around here a while ago. So what I'm doing here is just adding this song to eventually. I'll post another over the shoulder video of Old Blue, of me driving Old Blue on some of these Texas back roads. Some of them do look like this, although we don't have the mountains like that, or at least not where I'm at. The hills, yeah, the mountains, no. But so I'll eventually I'll post an over the shoulder video with this song as part of the soundtrack. I just think it's that good. So thanks, Kimmy. It's a long one, guys. I know that, but I mean, I think it's one of those songs that you don't want it to be short. You want to just listen to what's being played. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Let's get back to it.
And the birds up on the wires and the telegraph poles, they can always fly away from this rain and this cold. You can hear them singing out the telegraph code all the way down the telegraph road. I'd sooner forget, but I remember those nights Yeah, life was just a bet on a race between the lights. You had your head on my shoulder, you had your hand in my hair. Now you act a little cold, like you don't seem to care. But just believe in me, baby, and I'll take you away from out of this darkness and into the day. From these rivers of headlights, these rivers of rain, from the anger that lives on the streets with these names. Cause I run every red light on memory lane. I see desperation explode into flames, and I don't wanna see it again. From all of these signs
Yeah, that is just absolutely just pure talent. Um, and you could just visualize just driving, or at least I can. I won't speak for everybody, but I can just visualize just, it, it, if you look at that picture that was up on the screen, there's a guy on a motorbike and he's headed, seemingly nowhere and everywhere all at the same time. Up until about 5 years ago, I had a Harley, had several, but the last one I sold about 5 years ago. It just got to be too much traffic, and maybe because I was getting older, I was more kind of aware of my mortality, and so I didn't feel comfortable. But I used to ride that thing like this guy is doing, and I was a lone rider. I didn't like to ride with a bunch of people. It seemed like, when I rode with a bunch of people, and they're all good guys, but we couldn't go an hour without everybody having to pull in to eat somewhere, and then we're sitting there, there might be 20 of us waiting to be fed. So it takes a while for everybody to get food. And then once you get your food, then everybody, and you get done eating, everybody wants to talk. And I wanted to ride. I'm still that way. I don't ride anymore, but I use my old truck to get that same feeling. I don't want to be parked at a restaurant. I want to, I'll get me a protein bar and I'll go for hours. And I used to be able to go from here to my parents' house, which is 250 miles away. And I'd go up there and I would visit them while they were still alive. And then I would visit them for several hours. And then I'd get back on that bike and I would come back to Dallas. And, so I'd put 500 miles plus a visit in. And one time a friend of mine went with me, and when we got back at the end of that day, he said, "Don't even call me." I think it was on a Friday we did that. And he told me when we got back, he said, "Don't even call me till Monday at least." He was so worn out and tired and pissed off because he's like the rest of the people, wanted to get a hotel, and it was more about the adventure. For me, it was about the ride. So and I know I said a whole lot about that, but again, I don't have a Harley anymore. If y'all want to look it up, I had the last one I had was a 2006 Heritage Softail Classic, and it was black and it was beautiful, and I dug it, and I could just sit there. I didn't need music. I didn't need anything, man. I didn't need anything but the wind and the scenery, and I know some of you might find it weird, but that was my sanity back in the day when I was doing a lot of drug interdictions on the highway, and I had to recoup my sanity from dealing with crackheads and meth heads and people just trafficking dope, and that's how I did it. But like I said, man, I got older, and it got to where people would pull out in front of you. There were so many people on the road. The only way you could get around is, it's almost like weaving in and out of traffic, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I told you all a lot about nothing, but Mark Knopfler and this song, Telegraph Road, and I seen Mark Knopfler play. I think he was at Albert Music Hall in over there in England, and I think he played Money for Nothing or Brothers in Arms, one of those. But he put a lot of feeling into it, kind of like this right here. So, all right, guys, let me get off here. We're already how many minutes into this? We're in this 21 minutes. A lot of it was me just jabbering, and I hope maybe you guys just fast forwarded to that, and I wouldn't blame you a bit. But that's going to do it for me, man. Until I see y'all again, I'll catch you on down the road. Consider hitting that like button. Let's get the hell out of here. Bye, y'all.